Hi everyone, it's Miss Malana from Boys and Girls Club of Frederick, Maryland, and today I'm going to be showing and telling you guys about how to make your own Play-Doh at home. So in order to do this, you are going to need a container or a bowl. I used this Tupperware one earlier today when I made mine, and you're going to need flour. This is just the container that my flour is in. Then you're going to need salt, measuring cup, and food coloring. So when you're making this, you want to put 1 cup of flour into your bowl, and then you want to mix in 1/2 cup of salt. And then once you have your flour and your salt in your bowl, you want to gradually stir in water. And you're stirring in the water until you get the consistency of what Play-Doh is. If you feel like your dough is too watery, then just add more flour. And if you feel like your dough is too dry and you can't really move it, then I would just add a little bit more water. And you can play around with flour and water until you get the consistency that you want, and it will turn out to look something like this. This is what I made earlier when I did my Play-Doh, and that's what I got out of it. It's really soft, it's easy to pull apart, you can mold it into whatever you want, you can roll it into a ball, just like regular Play-Doh. So if you don't want to leave your Play-Doh in the plain color that it is, you can color it to make it look different. This one is in kind of like a tinted yellow color. And today we're gonna do 2 different colors of Play-Doh. So I'm gonna take the Play-Doh that I have right here, and I'm gonna roll them both into balls just like this. So there's one, and then I have another one right about here. They don't have to be perfect, they just need to be somewhat the way you want them to be. And once you have your 2 balls, you're gonna take it and you're gonna put your finger down into it just like this. And you do that for each ball. So one more time, sticking our finger in and leaving that hole. And that hole is where we're gonna put our food coloring. Today I have green and blue food coloring. Not really sure if you guys can see it, but there we have it. So I'm gonna start with the green in one, and I'm gonna add about 10 to 15 drops if you're using drop food coloring. Today I have gel, so I'm gonna kind of squirt the gel into mine for about maybe 10 seconds. I've found that if you are using food coloring, you're going to want to use a lot because depending on the amount of dough you have, it's not really going to spread. So the more food coloring you have, the more color you'll have on your dough. You can also use gloves if you feel uncomfortable with getting food coloring on your hand, or you could put your Play-Doh in a plastic bag. I'm going to do both methods today so I can show you guys. But first, we're going to use a glove. So I have my glove on right here, and then I have my dough, and you guys can see the food coloring's kind of in there. And what you want to do is you just want to knead the dough so that the color gets all around in the dough. And it's going to take some time, and you might have to add food coloring. Like right now, it's not really showing, it's only showing on certain areas. But the more that you play with the dough, the more color you'll get. You can roll it into a ball. Right now, this is just kind of like slightly tinted green. So I'm gonna add, once I feel like I've got it in here a little bit, I'm gonna add some more. And you just wanna keep doing that until you get the color that you like. So I'm still playing with this. You guys can see the green. It's really in there. I've got some food coloring on my hand, but it's okay. So it's turning out to be kind of green. You guys can see it's a little slimy looking. And if you feel like your Play-Doh got wet because of the food coloring, then you can add more flour to the dough, and that will make it so that it's not as like wet and doughy and slimy. It'll make it more firm. So it's kind of like a light pastel green right now, and that's what we have right here in our dough. And next, I'm going to take this glove off, kind of wipe my hands a little bit, and show you guys how you can use a bag with food coloring if you don't have gloves at home. This bag has a little bit of flour in it because it helps keep the dough contained while it's in there so that it doesn't fly around too much. So we're going to take our blue food coloring now, and we're going to drop it into the hole of the dough just like we did with the green. And I have a lot of food coloring in there. And first, I'm going to take the outsides of the dough and kind of just get the food coloring in the middle. And then I'm going to place it into my bag like this. And then from the outside of the bag, I can knead the dough around so that it's getting in, and then I'm not getting my hands dirty. And then once your dough is in here, you can open up your bag again, and if you want to drop more in here, you can do that as well. So then you're just playing with it until you get it the color you want. See, right now it's coming out really blue. And right now it looks like it's kind of getting stuck. So like I said before, if you feel like your dough is too gooey, then adding flour will fix that. So prior to using the bag, I recommend putting a lot of flour in the bag so that the dough has room to move around and get the color all on it. So I'm just taking out a small portion now, and this is really blue. I'm just going to do the rest with my hands, rolling it into a ball, and now I have Play-Doh. And I can now use these colors to do whatever I would like with it. I can mold it. If you want to make a creation that doesn't mess up, you can bake it. And while I do say that all of these ingredients are edible, I do not recommend that you eat the Play-Doh. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and have fun experimenting at home. And hopefully I'll be back with more Play-Doh videos later.